The comic book industry is in a weird place right now. Marvel and DC are reusing their old ideas to make money, while publishing companies like Image Comics are taking risks with new ideas that haven't been seen before. There are some great creators out there who are trying to change the medium for the better, but it's hard to tell if these books will succeed or fail, because sometimes they have trouble getting into the hands of readers. In 2016, a comic called The Wicked Plus the Divine was published, and it quickly became one of my favorite series. It followed a group of teenagers who were reincarnated versions of pagan gods and goddesses. It had everything: mystery, action, romance, betrayal, death, body, horror, sex, amazing artwork, and characters that felt real. Now the problem is that it only lasted for 40 issues, over 6 years. That's not very long. To compare this to, Spider-Man has been around since 1962, and he has had hundreds of comic book series. But recently, there has been a boom in popularity for The Wicked, plus The Divine, and other series like it, thanks to the internet. And that's why today, we are talking about. But first, a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. Okay, so I just got back from San Diego Comic-Con, and one thing I noticed is that the internet can be a dangerous place. People try to steal your identity every day, and you should protect yourself when going online, especially at public Wi-Fi hotspots where people use public computers, like at libraries, malls, coffee shops, airports, and hotel TVs. Hackers can easily intercept your personal information like passwords, credit card numbers, and social security numbers. But when you use NordVPN, you can keep all of your personal info safe by creating a private connection between your device and the internet through an encrypted tunnel. It keeps your browsing history and personal information away from prying eyes so you can browse freely. And it doesn't just keep you safe either. NordVPN lets you access more than 5,400 servers in 59 countries, meaning you can watch your favorite TV shows and movies from other countries. Now let's get back to the video. Spider-Man is a comic book series written by Jed MacKay with art by Juan Ferreira, and it is published by Marvel Comics. It was announced at C2E2 in 2022, and the first issue came out in August of 2022. The story takes place in a version of Spidey's universe where all the supervillains in New York City have been cured of their insanity and become upstanding citizens. This version of Peter Parker is an investigative reporter who works for Horizon Labs, which is owned by MJ. MJ also owns a popular talk show that Peter secretly writes the scripts for. And although Peter isn't a superhero anymore, he does have a suit that he uses for protecting himself against villains and vigilantes who operate outside the law. The first arc of the miniseries introduces us to Kat, a young woman who grew up as a circus performer, and now she is one of the most wanted women alive for robbing several banks. She ends up in Horizon Labs seeking asylum, and Peter becomes her bodyguard. When she gets a mysterious package addressed to him, the package contains a spider-shaped USB drive, and when Peter puts it into his computer, it reveals a video message from Uncle Ben. In the message, Ben says that he found a way to bring people back from the dead, and he wants Peter to find him so he can complete the transfer of knowledge. Ben was killed by Dr. Octopus in the main continuity, after Peter refused to cure Otto of his insanity. So now Peter goes out looking for answers. While Peter searches for clues about his uncle's whereabouts, Kat gets captured by a gang of assassins. Peter comes to save her, but he is nearly killed until Kat knocks him unconscious and escapes. When Peter wakes up, he finds a note from Kat saying that she needs his help, and then he blacks out again. He wakes up once more to find himself being attacked by Mysterio, a villain who can create realistic special effects to fool others. Mysterio tells Peter that he was hired by someone close to Peter to take him out. And then the issue ends. The second issue opens with Peter escaping from Mysterio and heading to Aunt May for comfort. But while he's gone, MJ gets kidnapped by Hammerhead, a crime boss whose brain was restructured so that he would no longer be insane. Meanwhile, Peter discovers that his Uncle Ben is actually alive and well, living in Spidey heaven. It is revealed that Ben never died in the first place, and the whole time he was hanging out with George Stacy, Gwen Stacy's father, and other heroic spirits waiting for Peter to come rescue them. Peter refuses at first, but then Ben reminds him that his powers were given to him for a reason, and it's his duty to protect the innocent. So now Peter, along with a resurrected Black Widow and a few other heroes, head to Spidey heaven to free everyone, and that's where the second issue ends. So far, the series is pretty fast-paced, and it's fun to see what happens next. Also, I am liking the way Peter acts. He is not as cocky as he usually is in other series, and he feels like a completely different character. Plus, the supporting cast is really interesting, especially MJ, who seems to be hiding something. The art by Ferreira is outstanding. Every page is filled with beautiful detail, and the action sequences are easy to follow. The colors used in this comic are also fantastic. The cover for issue No. 3 perfectly encapsulates the tone of the series. The composition is reminiscent of classic Spider-Man comics, where the background is full of bright primary colors, and then there's Peter in the foreground with a darker color scheme. There are currently 3 issues of Spider-Man available, and I'm excited to see how the story continues. My biggest gripe with the series so far is that the villains haven't been very interesting. Like we have Mysterio, who is typically a low-level threat, and then we have him, who hasn't been relevant since the 70s. Sure, they've both done a good job in the story so far, but I think they could have used some more obscure villains to make things more exciting. I first heard about Spider-Man when watching a video by Alex Penzwan, who I highly recommend you subscribe to. He has some great videos on his channel. Anyway, I asked him if he would like to join me in reviewing Spider-Man, and he accepted. So now I want to hear his thoughts. Hey, Alex, thank you for joining me today. First question, what do you think of Spider-Man so far? I think it's pretty solid. I've always liked it when Spider-Man is written as an actual journalist, and McKay seems to be doing a good job with that. Yeah, I like how Peter is writing speeches for MJ, and then later, he takes over her position as host. It's fun to see him challenge himself and grow as a person. Right. Alright, next question. What do you think about the plot so far? I'd say it's pretty engaging. The mystery of what happened to Uncle Ben, and why he sent Peter that package, was enough to draw me in and keep me reading. Yeah, I agree. That is the main reason why I wanted to review this series, because it has a unique plot that hasn't been seen before. How about the characters? Are they likable? The characters are alright. I wish they did more with MJ though. So far, she hasn't been that interesting. Well, I feel like she has kind of stuck between wanting to support Peter and also not wanting to reveal their relationship to the public. But yeah, I hope they develop her more too. Next question. What about the art? Is it easy to read? The art is gorgeous. Ferreira's art is the best part of this series for me. His layouts are dynamic and the details he puts into every panel are mind-blowing. I couldn't agree more. There's one scene in issue 2 where Peter is fighting several villains, and the way that Ferreira shows the different perspectives during the fight is fantastic. It makes the action easy to understand, and it looks amazing. Alright, next, do you have any criticisms? One thing I don't like is that they haven't shown much of Spidey Heaven. We got a little glimpse of it in the 2nd issue, but I would like to see more of what that place looks like since it seems really cool. Oh, I agree. I think showing more of that realm and developing the characters would make this series even better. Okay, last question. Would you recommend this series to others? Yes, I would. As long as they're aware that it's not a typical Spider-Man story, I think fans of Spider-Man and newcomers alike would enjoy it. Well, thank you for joining me today, Alex. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you disliked it, then click the dislike button. You can check out my other videos by clicking the links on your screen. If you want to see more reviews like this one, subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on all my future uploads. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.